Well, there's been a spike in distressed South African homeowners selling their properties, which they only got 2 years ago. This as many struggle to stay afloat due to the rising inflation and interest rate hikes. Our business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo has the details.
Well, it certainly is that final dose of anxiety with the Reserve Bank due to make that final announcement on Thursday on the interest rate decision. It's the final announcement for the year. And of course, homeowners and vehicle owners have been hard hit with increasing repayments that they've had to endure over the last year or so. And I do have now with me Tyson Properties Director, and that's Francois Du Toit. Thank you so much for talking to us. Now, the numbers that we're seeing floating around, the research that's done, it's quite scary when it's showing that property owners who bought a property in the last 2 years are now selling because of that pressure. Talk us through that.
Yeah, it's quite scary. I think 8 out of 10 homeowners that bought in the last 2 years or in the more favorable interest rates, they are now selling. So they haven't been long enough in the market, and there hasn't been enough growth in the market, especially in the Joburg market. These people are in a situation where they are really taking financial strain. So also at the time when they were buying the property in these favorable markets, it was a very good time to buy. However, they were almost like flying a little bit too close to the edge, and it puts them in a difficult situation now. Plus, if you factor into account the fact that they have bought a property, let's use an example as like R1 million, they've paid bond costs and transfer fees, they can't really sell now and get their money back. On average, the general rule of thumb is, especially in the Joburg market, after 5 years you break even, and after 10 years you make a profit. But because there's only been 2 years down the line, the stats out there at the moment is quite scary.
And we did see a pause in the last announcement. Talk us through your expectations, and then those people that are thinking about dipping their feet into the market, how do they then ensure that they are financially in the correct position to make that decision, because it is a long-term one?
Yes. Yeah, so I think the guys are, if you are going into the market right now, I think the key thing is not to really do your numbers to the point where you got to leave about a 20 to a 30% buffer in there in terms of from affordability perspective. I think a lot of homeowners went in, in the very favorable interest rates at the time just after COVID, and I think it was a thing of government wanting to release, and stimulate the economy a little bit, and that's why we had low interest rates. But now, buying into a property, you got to make sure that you have an extra 20 to 30% from affordability. So one of my advice to new homeowners or people going into the market is don't use your full capacity. If you qualify for a home loan of 1.5 million or 2 million, don't use the full bond that the bank's necessarily given you, because it might not help you in the future, because the environment can change, and as we've just seen in the last 18 months, the landscape has changed a lot. So yeah, it's a challenge.